Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We have been in a complete sell-off, but is it finally finished? I think so. Join me today. Do subscribe, drop a comment below, engage with me. Tell me what coins are you getting ready to buy, and why are you getting ready to buy them, and what prospects do you see in the near future? All right, let's dive in. So we're starting with Matic today. So Matic is at $2.52. It has been doing really well as it actually bounced off of support here back in the middle of December and started to actually go up. Now it does while we're kind of going into a range, and it did cross over on the MACD, and the moving averages this crossover, which kind of signified that it was going to kind of go down a little bit, but it is moving forward in this way. Now, what we could expect in the next couple of days, especially when we move towards the 7th of January, 8th of January, we could see a good pick back up here pretty soon, making an all new high. We're very close to that. Don't worry. Now the volume is kind of getting lower, and the price is kind of staying the same, which is a good sign. We definitely don't want to see a low amount of volume and high prices. We definitely don't want to see that, but we do want to see it kind of start picking back up in volume in the next couple of days, and only in the next couple of days. It just shows that it will be moving forward. It will start an uptrend, and that's what we're watching for now. Going off into FTM is another one of those coins that I want to kind of cover with you guys. It's got really great potential, and I think you need to really look into some of these other coins that's below the top 25 or even the top 30. Some of them are doing really well. The gaming coins are really going to be exploding. So you need to watch out for those because as new releases are coming out, especially in the new year, we're starting in that new year, you're going to be able to see that they're really going to pick up, and which we discussed that before, and I told you by the end of December it will start picking up, and that's where we have. And FTM is a sign of that because towards the end of December, like we spoke about, it started moving up. Like the 22nd, it started with FTM started actually going up pretty high. It started actually not even going up; it started really running with it. And you can see when we're looking at this part of the volume, right? You see how it's high versus like here when it's down. This high amount of volume is where a good trading is going to happen at. Even the price is going up with high volume, which kind of marks for that. And even looking towards the MACD and the moving averages is actually very well. And you can see that it kind of moved in right here when it crossed over back in like the middle of December. We had that run. And it really signified. That's why I love going with the MACD and the moving averages. You really should follow because they give you a good insight of exactly the price direction is going to go. And so this kind of gave us a big heads up that the price is going to move forward, and it is continuing. Of course, it's got a nice healthy retraction kind of coming in and going out. We have very big candles. And now what we don't want to see is we don't want to see these candles like this one right here. And let's say this one. You can see how they're some kind of the same size, and that's a very healthy trend. Now, for example, if it gets really big, let's say if it's kind of coming up like this, and then which is out of the normal for this, it does kind of show that it is going for a downtrend, and it shows that it's got high volatility. So you do want to watch out for those as well. But as I see, I'm very happy with FTM. I think it's going to go up even higher. I would expect a new all-time high coming in soon, which the all-time high is at what, 314. So we can expect that probably here. I would say within February, at the end of January, pretty easily. In my case, so I thought. Moving to XMR, which is another one of those great coins to kind of go into right now. It's also doing the same kind of profile as well. You can see a very healthy amount of volume coming in to Monero. And that's what we want to see as well. So coming back to the same time, 16th, 17th, right, we had that same crossover with the moving averages, and that's what we had. And we want to continue to see those climb. The health of the candles we have is very good. The same what we were speaking about just for FTM. It has that same kind of movement. Now you can see when we're speaking about like this candle, for example, like how huge that is and how out of the ordinary, it did signify a drop in this. And we even have the head and shoulders movement kind of coming in back in November and October, which signified a drop because it retested back to support and it continued to fall, but it is starting to move back into this as well. So we're showing that even this run is still actually showing signs that it's going to continue for quite some time. So it's not getting close like how it was here, how it had that change in price. And so that's really, really good and shows it's really going to move forward. So pay attention to XMR for this, because when these moving averages come closer and closer, it's going to kind of show you that it's going to have a change in price action. As we can see it's very, very strong. The power is definitely into the buyers right now. And we want to continue to see that. And we want to keep these moving averages in the direction of actually being positive uptrends instead of getting closer together and losing this volume. So we definitely want to see that. The volume is high, the price is raising, which is really, really good. So let's see, Monero right now is sitting at 246. You know, I know a lot of people that are seeing that, oh, it's down by 1%, 2%, and they're freaking out. Just like how crypto goes, especially with a lot of newbies, they have this moment. Moving on to Solana, there's a lot of people that really love Solana. I myself do love it. It is kind of moving somewhat into a range. When we're looking at it, the volume is getting low, and what I don't like to see is the fact that we're having this price change back and forth all over, and it's pretty dangerous. Now it's going to continue to go down, I believe. How I can see looking here, it looks like it's going to go back down. When we're kind of following along back in December here as well, it did go up and kind of retested here in resistance and kind of came back, and it's still over. It did break out of the vortex of this wedge, but we're still kind of looking like it's going to go back down into this. But Solana is kind of going to, I believe it's going to pick back up probably around mid-February. It's going to move back in, getting back high. Let's see, the highest was 257. I think it's going to come back in too. Of course, with Solana, Matic, and all of the others are going to start moving back in. Just going to take some time. But we do need to shift the power and the volume back to the buyers. We don't need to hang out with the moving averages back into the same. You can see we had like this huge sell-off, right, kind of coming off here where we had. So the sell-off is going to finish up. It looks like it's finishing off now. It looks like it's going to pick up, but Solana is going to probably more than likely go for a dip. But it's still kind of hard to catch it because we did have like the short buy here, right? I think it could be the same for the short sell and then move up. So it's very important to watch here. We want to see another day or two, at least with some positive action coming in. We want to see that. Now, this candle does familiarize itself with the other candles that we had in the past, the 14th, right, the 23rd of November, or I'm sorry, yes, November. We want to see that. So it does show too that this trend is getting weaker for the selling of it, but just to be on the safe side, it's pretty too close to call. So we can only tell here in the next couple of days. I would say probably around mid-January, we're going to really see it start pumping up coming in. Moving over to the last coin of the day, we're going to go over DOT. DOT has taken a big fall. The same thing that we had. Look at this huge sell-off that we had in the moving averages, right? That sell-off was pretty strong, actually, and it moved in, and of course we kind of had that buy back in back here in the middle of December we had. Now it's getting pretty closer to, as it's coming back up as well. We do want to see some more volume into the buyers. That moving average is moving pretty close back in. You can see that we had, for example, December the 16th, right? It crossed over, kind of signifying that buy. But what we're seeing too as well is this kind of dip back down into this, and this is where we need to kind of pick back up. So this is exactly the time that we need to see it kind of move in a little bit further up to really kind of like play that role. We had that strong dip. It tested the line back in the middle of November. It tested and kind of fell in and came back from the line of support, but I believe that we're going to come in. The same with when we're coming down into that angle. It fell below support, retested, and broke back out, which is, it's very dangerous. You definitely want to kind of like pay attention to at least like 1/3 of the buy-in, because if you bought like if you sold all right here, you lost some money, but it kind of retested itself back in here. So within about a week time span, 2 weeks time span. So I think it's going to move into as well, but it is pay attention to these moving averages right now and take a look at your MACD. Check for yourself. But when we see this kind of moving in right here, kind of at a level space, It's not really a worrisome thing, but it could potentially, if this moving averages just starts to kind of move in closer for the selling, for example, then we're down to kind of fall back below $28. So we definitely don't want to see that, because we're kind of sitting right now as a support, sitting at what, 23. We don't want to see that. We definitely don't want to fall below where we are now at like 26 bucks. We don't want to see that. So potentially, if we can just get past, at least if we can kind of at least rise above the resistance level at 31, 30 bucks, we'll be in for a long haul of making some hard, cold cash. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. Do subscribe, drop a comment below. Tell me, what do you think? Where is DOT going? Where is Matic going? And what do you think about Sol? All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Catch you next time.